Mr. Real Estate. So YouTube, welcome as well. We're on our YMC national conference call. Every Tuesday night, we do a YMC Wake Up national conference call. This is to wake people up and bring their attention to not only the issues in the Black community, African American community, New African community, Pan African community, whatever we go by on any given day, but to bring forth solutions and a good dialogue in regards to what we have to do to build better Black communities and to better ourselves. So moving forward, these YMC calls or live streams will be done on our YMC YouTube. This will probably be the last one that's done on my personal channel, but we're going to do it on the personal channel for tonight. So we're going to rock out like that. To everyone that's on our call, so this call is being live streamed and it's also happening over the phone. We chose a topic tonight on, excuse me, Black love equals Black power. And I was really excited to kind of tackle this topic because I remember in Houston, the first time, one of my mentors actually is the chairwoman of the New Black Panther Party, one of my mentors in regards to my community awakening. And she would greet me, she would say Black power. And when she would end her conversations with me, she would say Black power. And it felt very uncomfortable saying Black power back because I'm like, if I say Black power back, does that make me like a racist or something? Or like, what is that for me to, promote this or say vocally Black power, right? And then I had an awakening about it and got very comfortable and willing to say it because, and this is probably for a lot of you have the same experience, is because, and I'm going to look up both those words. I'm going to look up power and no, not Black. I'm going to look up power and I'm going to look up powerless. I'm going to look up those two words. I'm going to read them to us. I didn't even do that yet. I'm going to do it on Google as we're speaking. But we pretty much know what power is. And the reason why, when you seen the Black Power movement in the 70s, which was the most awake the Black community probably has been since the post-enslavement era, outside of the Black Wall Street era, is that it was people our age, our generation, the millennials of that time, the 70s, who saw all that the Black community was going through, and they united and wanted to do something about it. And when you look at groups like the Black Panther Party and other freedom fighting organizations, they weren't out to hunt down or kill other people. They were out to defend our community because our community was blatantly under attack. We still see our community under attack today. It's just a lot more subliminal than it used to be. But there is a system that was created that didn't have us in mind. And that system is, still perpetuates, oppression and burdensome treatment towards Black people today. And that's statistical, right? If you look at, Blacks are more likely, 6 times more likely to get pulled over and searched by police. Why is that, right? These are stats. Why is that? Why is the family wealth of a typical white household 13 times that of a Black household? 13 times the family wealth. Why is the home ownership rate of Blacks not risen since it's the same in 2012 as it was in 1976? And a bunch of other stats we can run down that show that Black people have suffered, which we all know, and have been held or left powerless. And so that's the difference between if you see, like, say, someone saying white power, right, who has been white people who are been in the majority and who had privilege and who were the captors, right, of Black people. They're the ones who actually captured African Black slaves and brought them here. So someone saying white power is a lot different than someone saying Black power when Black people were the victims and now are the survivors of so much trauma, so much abuse, and never were repaired, right? It's no different. And I thought about it earlier as I'm recovering from a little cold and have been kind of under the weather. But I was laying on the couch and I was thinking about tonight's call and I was thinking about, this whole thing. And I thought about abused animals, right? I thought about animals that like had, burn marks on them or were in dog fights, or like just, how an abused animal looks, malnutrition and unfed and not doing well. And that animal being, powerless. And it's not to liken us as people to the animals necessarily, but I'm drawing a general parable, a general analogy. But, if that animal or that being is left in such a poor condition and left powerless, there's nothing wrong with trying to speak life and speak enthusiasm and speak power into that being. And that's the difference for those of you who are confused or don't understand. And when you talk about power, what's the best way you can help repair a traumatized person, a traumatized animal, a traumatized victim? How if you're talking about, it could be a man or a woman who was raped or molested or went through physical abuse or spousal abuse, right? Domestic violence. What is one of the best ways to repair that man or woman or that being? One of the best ways is to love them, right? Love starts to heal people. Love even heals animals, right? To love them is something about the energy of love that then restores people, right? Even if they were beaten and broken. And that's why tonight's call is on Black love equals Black power, because the more that we are willing to openly love Black people, no matter how we're shunned and looked at by other Black people or other ethnicities, it doesn't make a difference. Our job is to love Black people because we're awake and aware that Black people have been traumatized. And if you're not awake and aware, I can send you a bunch of information that point that out to you. So Black people have been traumatized and left in this condition with no repair, right? And so it's up to us to repair ourselves and repair our people. So I'm looking up the definition right now of power. I just want to read that. I have no idea what it's going to say. I have an idea what it's going to say, but I don't know the exact terms. So we're going to read this. Power, a noun, ability to do or act, the capability of doing or accomplishing something, right? So we're saying Black power, we're saying it's time for us to act and to accomplish something. What we're trying to accomplish is our repair and our holistic repair. And I want to look up powerless in the same dictionary format. And powerless is unable to produce an effect, right? Lacking power to act, helpless. I like this, unable to produce an effect, right? Black people were left powerless in the sense of our experience has left us unable. We've been unable to unify. We've been unable to unify and come together and accomplish anything substantial up to this point. We've been able to get out of last place of the poverty line. We're still last place in education. We're still in first place in incarceration, right? So this is where we're left powerless because of, again, the condition we're left in. So our whole thing with YMC is, again, solving it. And we believe that Black love matters. Like, you can scream Black lives matter, and yes, they do. Black lives matter, all lives matter, every life matters, all that. But we certainly can say that Black love matters, especially to Black people, if we're ever going to be repaired. If we can't start to love ourselves and heal ourselves, and we haven't had healing, that's what I think one of the biggest things that's missing is that if you take any kind of victim and now you just push them out into the regular world and they never had any repair, never kind of healing, that person is going to be dysfunctional in society. Now we're talking about generations and tens of millions of Black people, when you go back generations, who were traumatized, who were not only who were looked at as second-class citizens, who weren't even considered human being by law, who have been suffered police brutality year after year after year, generation after generation, right? Have unequal school systems. And so you're taking these people that have been enslaved for 246 years and then never repaired, the same people. And if you push those people into the world without any repair, without any healing, there's going to be some strong residual effects from that. And so I want to know from you all tonight. I just want to get some perspective to my thoughts on Black love equaling Black power. I want to see my people powerful and not held powerless. I want to see us with the ability to act and execute, right? It frustrates me that we can't, it's so hard to come together, even on the smallest level, and just do a simple business venture together. Like, right, it's a lot of static when you try to execute things with our own people sometimes. And on a macro level, on a larger level, I want to see us be able to unite and be able to get universal recognition as a people, as we should. And so I want to know from you guys, what are your thoughts? What are your general thoughts on Black love equaling Black power? I want to know from you guys, in what ways do you show Black love, right? So I can tell you, for me, I show Black love because I prioritize it, right? Right up there with, someone asked me yesterday, they asked me what they asked. They said, what's my motivation? And instinctively, I want to say my daughters are my motivation, and they are. But I mean, right up there on the tip of my tongue is my community. Our community is like my motivation. My motivation is not to make some dollars. Like, that's corny to me. That's whack to me. Like, yeah, we got to make money. We got to live. We got to eat. I get it. You know what I mean? But that's not my motivation. My motivation is, and that's something I need to do in order to meet my goals. But my goal really is to, like, really, really, really take, it's frustrating, but take on all the frustration, all the pain, all the anguish, all the whatever it needs to be taken on to get to a point of where we actually made some real results and real progress in regards to my people, Black people. And that motivates me to see our people do better, to bridge the wealth gap, to bridge the social economic gap, to close the loophole in the 13th Amendment that allows for slavery, right? We want no slavery, no exception. Even if you're a criminal, you still shouldn't be enslaved. You can be incarcerated, but you shouldn't be made to work for free. So I want to make real change in the world. I do, flat out. I've accepted it. And that's my showing Black love. And I'm willing to sacrifice, and I have sacrificed a lot. And willing to sacrifice, I'm sure I sacrificed a lot of followers, fans, collaborations, and all types of things, because very few people want to be in, only people that are awake or that have empathy for the plight of Black people really want to associate with someone who's vocally about the progression of Black people. For some reason, it gets kind of taboo. Now, if we were Syrians, or we were maybe Jewish, or we were like a lion in the African jungle, we'd get more empathy. But it's something about Black people speaking up about their distress, their trauma, their oppression, that makes people like, hey, what are you guys talking about? What are you doing over there? So it's like, but I'm okay with that. I don't care what the outsiders say, or the naysayers say, or whatever. I know statistically and historically, I can prove where Black people have been traumatized. I can prove it in every era, in the slavery era, in the post-slavery Jim Crow and Black Coat era. And I can prove it in today's mass incarceration, police brutality, stop and frisk, unequal school system, still below the poverty line in that era too. And I can show that there's been no intentional repair by anybody in the mass level for my people. So if that's the case, that's the reality that I'm working with, then I challenge everyone to step their love game up and love our people, so our people can have power and be whole and be on an even playing field with everyone else. And until we do, until we're healed, we won't be where we really want to be. And so I'm going to open the lines up. It's *6 to make a comment or ask a question. You press *6 from your phone. For those on YouTube, you better go to my Instagram and get the call code, so you can call in as well. Instead of just watching, you can actually call in and participate. And so it's *6 to hop on the call. And I just want to hear from you guys, how do you exhibit Black love? What does it mean to you? And what do you think about this whole concept of Black love equals Black power? And *6 from your phones.
Yes, I have a call 443.
443.
Yes, this is Taylor from Baltimore.
Good evening, Queen. You here? Hello, hello. I think Queen got dropped. Please call back in, Queen Tamara. So *6 for you guys to hop in the question queue or comment queue.
There's 901.
901. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's going on, King?
Peace, Kenny. Peace, Quinn.
How you doing, King?
Chris from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on, King?
Man, what's going on, King? Man, just want to add in, black love and black power. That's what it's gonna. That's what we have to set the example. And you're doing that, Jay, King Jay. You're doing that. And once we get a working model that we can follow, then we can point at that and say, hey, that's black love. Jay, y'all had a video on YouTube where y'all was just talking in the car about black love one day. I think y'all was at the Baltimore. And it touched on a lot of things, which I can't remember everything, but one thing that stood out that was every time that is something, bad, we can jump on it, and everybody can, say, their piece. But, if Black Lives Matter and all this and everything that they have going, we got to integrate love in it as well, because a lot of people just, can be negative. Everybody can be negative. So what my main point is, and I'm glad that we're doing it, is to just get a working model out there that black people see that, hey, this is how we can just express black love. It doesn't have to be money. It could be 10 people promoting one person.
Right.
And then that's going to bring that person more revenue. That's black love. For 1 week, 10 of y'all support one person. And when I say support, I'm not saying spend money. I'm saying promote them, shoot a video, use your product to market them, use your services, your resources to bring them more business. Then when they get more business, they can do more business with you or things like that. It's just once we get it out there, it'll be a working model. And I'm just glad we're on this call, and every day, every week, we getting better at this. And man, that's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate you, King. You know what? That reminds me of, we got the YMC corner classes this weekend. So in Baltimore, we're gonna be teaching free real estate and credit advice, free home ownership advice, investing advice on the corner of 850 Harlem Avenue in Baltimore at 1 p.m. this Saturday, which is 1/16, right? And I sent our flyer over to a king that, I rock with. He's, heavy in the real estate investing world and education as well, Mark Witten. And so I sent the flyer to Mark. I said, post this for me. He's going to be posting it this week. And then Mark put a video up today on YouTube, on WorldStar, basically giving, promoting his real estate training. He has sent it to me in a text message, like, yo, can you post this for me? And, both he and I both do real estate education, but on our own different platforms, within our own companies. And it felt so good for me to be able to post and promote him outside of me and the Jay Morrison Academy and what I do, but to be able to post and promote him and what he's doing, and for us to be able to exchange that kind of black love, like, yo, I'm gonna support you, you support me, even if we're in the same industry. So what? Like, you get yours, I'll get mine. Like, let's push each other and move each other forward. So I think that's the kind of example that we want to set at all times as much as we can. And for those of you, that's why you're.
I just wanted to, listening to you and King Chris talk, something just struck me. And the struck me was that the love that we have for one another, it should really be the fuel, that really pushes us, to propels us to empower one another and to develop, like you said, to motivate each other, to support each other, even if you are on the same playing field. That love that we have, it should be that fuel. I mean, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Absolutely.
Listening to both of you things speak. And it also reminded me that kind of going back to accountability, which we talked about last week. So I have an accountability group that I'm a part of, and it's headed by a woman who's just transformational speaker. But besides that, one of the questions that she asked us to contemplate during this week was what purpose was, and the way she worded it. I'm going to read it really quickly, but the way she worded it was, I feel like it kind of ties in to what we're talking about tonight. She's talking about purpose in the sense of business or, nonprofit work that we do, but what she said was, she told us, write out our heart's desire in serving humanity. What does it mean for us to serve? What are the outcomes for the people that we serve? So, and like, what do we desire for ourselves and for those people? And I think that if we keep that at the forefront of our mind, that it's to see that liberty, justice, and repair for our people solely based out of love,
Right.
I feel like there's nothing else that's going to come into your view that's going to stop you, that's going to deter you from just the book of, love.
Right. No, I think it is the ultimate fuel. Love is like the most powerful emotion.
I feel that, and even how you were mentioning about it doesn't matter how a person looks or anything, and I had that experience this weekend with a woman getting on the train. I'm about to buy my train ticket, and it was a black woman. She was older, and she looked like she was homeless or something, and she was asking for a train ticket. And I could have turned my back to her like everyone else was, but I was very intentional. It was kind of like, if you're going to say you love black people and all this, you got to love everybody. You can't just turn your back to people. And I really did. I was intentional. I talked to her, and I was like, well, what's going on? And I was trying to learn. I was like, well, how you all the way out here and you don't have a train ticket home? Like, what are you doing?
Right. Right.
But at the same time, I was like, but I bought her the ticket. It wasn't that expensive. And I called her queen at the end. And I remember you saying something about that. It didn't matter. We should call each other queen. No matter how they look, where they come from, whatever. And I called the queen at the end. She was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, kind of thing. But I think that even in those little things, it's not in us doing big, grand gestures, but even in those little things that we do, or the experiences or something like that when nobody's around.
Right.
Those are the things that count and that really matter, and that really make you, prove the fact of who you are or who you're becoming.
Absolutely. And what's funny, and that's why I think that's another thing that I do and that we do at YMC is just call each other kings and queens. Like, I do that against what people commonly do or what's popular, because I love our people and I want our women to feel good. I want them to feel like queens, whether they're living a queen lifestyle or not. And I want our men to feel like kings, to understand what it feels like to be called a king, whether they're living a king lifestyle or not. And we had a similar experience in Baltimore when we were promoting for our corner classes. It was a queen that came up to me and she says, anybody have 50 cents? She wanted 50 cents. And I didn't have 50 cents. I had only dollars on me. And so I said, same thing with like you. I was just messing around with her. And I said, well, you got 50 cents? So I got $1. So if you give me 50 cents, I'll give you $1. Right? So I'll give you 50 cents. And then she's like, no, she opened her hand. She had 4 pennies. And so I asked her what she was doing with it. And she was honest and said, she wanted to grab some food, but said she was sick first, meaning like she was still trying to get drugs. She was trying to get high. She was sick. But so I just messed around with her. But again, I still called her queen. And I still told her, I still just encouraged her and just really let her know she got to work on getting herself together. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's still my people. And I don't blame, that's part of the love factor. I don't blame our people for the condition that we're in. I do promote that we got to get ourselves out of it. And I do have a high level of self-accountability. But at the same time, I'm not going to blame us for being in a despair that we're in, because it's definitely not our fault. And, you know, that just comes with, again, that comes with love. When you start blaming us and pointing the finger at us, that's just because your heart ain't opened up enough, or your mind hasn't opened up enough to the facts. So I won't say that. But *6 for anybody has any comments or questions. *6, we're talking about black love, and black love equals black power. That's how black people can become powerful again, is through black love. What's going on, King?
This is King Bender. How you doing, King Bender?
I'm great, thank you, King Bender. Talk to me.
Hey. Well, you know, black love. Black love to me is a very interesting topic. First, I was looking up the definition of love, and the definition of love, what I found, when I looked, it said an intense feeling of deep affection. All right. So with that being said, that's definition of love. And now we put black in front of love, right? Black love. So you have to have an intense feeling of deep affection for black people, right? And I think sometimes we kind of think about love is something. I think we kind of think about it too deep instead of thinking about it in a simple way. And I'll give you an example of that. For one, this thing about the commonalities that we do have, as far as, for one, our skin color, right? You know, we all have similar skin colors. You know, some are lighter than others, some are brown, but at the end of the day, we all are brown. We all are black, right? And I think that should tell you something right there as far as your origin. We all apparently came from something that was black.
That was similar, correct? Right.
Right, and similar, right. So now I go to another level with that. You know, you have your mama, your kids, your daughter, you know, your father. You know, you love them because you know them. You know them well, and since you were born into this earth, that's all you knew was them. So you love them. I think it's kind of different for individuals to really love others because you don't know them well. Right. We don't know ourselves. We don't know our culture, just like how we had a discussion about knowing your origin.
Right.
I think going to that, and where you come from. And I think if everyone was to, all the people in the black culture, we all would do the DNA test or whatever test that you took, King Jay, to find out where your heritage and the origin you came from. I'm willing to bet that we all have some similarities with that origin that we all came from.
Right. Many of us, absolutely.
And they're all connected in some kind of way. So then when you see things differently, it's like, man, I'm connected to this brother in some kind of way. Then that's when you start saying we're a family. Right. So it's just certain steps that I think that us as a black community have to take in order to develop that love first. And we have to find a way to learn to know how to develop the love.
I agree. Can you repeat that definition of love for me one more time?
Yeah, it is an intense feeling of deep affection.
So love is an intense feeling of deep affection. And that's exactly how I feel about our people. I feel an intense feeling of deep affection. Like I really have a strong level of affection for our people and a strong level of empathy and concern. And and that's the thing. There's some people that don't give a crap. Like there is no intense feeling of deep affection. There is no affection for black people. They're black. Their ancestors from Africa too, but they don't got no affection for our people because they've been whatever. So I agree with you. I think that is no different than traditional Americans, right? Who they have a intense feeling of deep affection for the red, white, and blue, right? For the American flag. And they're willing to die for the flag and hold the flag high. And it's like they have a strong, intense feeling of their nationality, no different than Canadians or Japanese, right? Like people that have an intense feeling and strong affection for their culture, for their flag. And that's why it's so important for us as black people, New Africans, that we start to, which we will. That's what we're doing, is building our culture. And I can't wait to get to that part where we actually could build and identify with our own culture and have those intense feelings like that. That's how I feel about the red, black, and green. Like I love our flag. And I think we got to start promoting that Black love to all our people, so we all have those intense feelings.
Hey, King, I got one quick question for you.
Sure thing.
And then I'll be done. So, if you don't mind, and I'm pretty sure you probably had explained it before, but did you happen to know how you end up getting this kind of fix for your people? Or what?
Right.
And I know you mentioned about an event you had went to in Mississippi. I know that was one thing, but was that the only thing, or was it a combination of things?
Yeah, it was a combination of things. So I want to repeat it for our YouTube viewers. King Bender asked, you know, was there an event or something that happened that gave me or triggered this deep love and affection for my people? And I think it really started back when I was doing a celebrity realtor thing, and I was at Sotheby's, and I also was doing a speaking tour called Hip Hop to Homeowners at inner city schools in Newark, New Jersey, and throughout New Jersey. And so in any given day or week, I would be around our people and our youth in some of the hardest hit areas of New Jersey. But then I also would be around some of the most affluent and wealthiest people in New Jersey, as well, as I would go up to Alpine and Bergen County, New Jersey, and service and court clients there. And that did something to me, to see the condition of our people and the poverty of our people, but then to see the affluence of others and just seeing how big that gap was. And not just the money gap, but also the culture and just the education and all that. And I think that really, really started it. And that's where that first wake up video came from, was like, man, I just really want, you know, I just want us to do better. I don't want us to be in last place. I don't want us to be just ghetto forever, ratchet forever. I don't want us to lose. I don't want us to throw the gloves in and stop fighting. And so I noticed that burning, intense feeling starting then. And then as I started doing more research on our history and condition, because I didn't know our history prior to a couple of years ago. I would even say less than 2 years ago. I really didn't know. Like, I didn't know about Black Code. I didn't know that they made laws that locked us up for being homeless after slavery. I don't know they made laws that locked us up for not having a job after slavery, all to re-enslave us. I didn't even know what year slavery ended, or the chattel part of slavery ended, and they made this 13th Amendment loophole. I didn't know a bunch of things about COINTEL. So as I started doing more facts and seeing how, what they don't teach us in school, which they shouldn't, right? Like, I mean, if you're an American curriculum writer, I wouldn't teach Black people a lot of the things that they really went through. So as I did my own facts and my own studying, and I got to see the true condition of our people and looking at current statistics and looking at our history, it just broke my heart. That's what happened, really. My heart was broken seeing the condition of my people. And it's like, you could not know somebody, right? You could see a bum on the street or somebody getting kicked or getting punched, or, Like, you could see something. It could even be an animal, right? Like, the world was mourning over Cecil the lion. It's like, you could see something happening bad to someone, and it could really affect your heart and your soul. You could really feel empathy, and that's just what happened. It really just triggered a deep level of empathy and intense emotions out of me, just really seeing what my people are going through. Like, man, this is my people going through this. Like, that's crazy. And so it made me, love is an action word. So when you do start to love someone or love a cause, it will put you into action. And thank you for that question, King Bender. Go ahead, Queen.
I do have a call.
Yes. And *6 for calls or questions or comments on *6.
That was one great place, Big Honor. I just wanted to say, I think that when we talk about Black love or love period, it starts within. A lot of us struggle with how we feel about ourselves because our past experiences or whatever is built into us. But if we don't feel that way about ourselves, it's impossible for us to feel that way about our sisters or our brothers. people feel understood.
Absolutely, I agree. So let me ask you a question, Queen. What do you feel are some steps to?
Can you say that again? I accidentally took the phone off.
Oh, no problem. So I was saying, what do you think are some steps to someone loving themselves? So say someone doesn't love themselves, right? So you can't, if you don't love yourself, you're right. You cannot love the community or anything at whole, really. You know what I mean? Or it'd be really hard to, I would think, if you don't love yourself first, you won't even identify. So what do you think for someone that doesn't really love themselves, what do you think are some steps to getting that self-love? You here?
First, you love yourself. I just got approval from my husband that I could use this. But,
okay.
We've had some issues as far as, how we have felt about ourselves individually. And sometimes that's a harsh truth. You know what I mean? So you gotta have real people around you to say, look, what you're doing or how you're acting, that's kind of showing me that you don't really, you don't see much in yourself. Or you're not caring much about yourself. And you have to dig into that. But it's all about the company that you keep. And I think it starts with being 100. You have to be able to look into that mirror. And that's the hardest part. Being able to look into that mirror and say, how do I really feel? And once you grasp that, that's when change can really start to happen. Because if you don't love yourself, it's impossible to love anybody else or want better for anybody.
Absolutely. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of really how I transformed out of the street lifestyle and I actually gave it up. It was because I started to love myself more than I love money or love the theory of this way of making money. And I've really realized that, if you're out selling drugs, gangbanging, carrying guns, all of that, you can't love yourself. You're putting yourself in jeopardy and harm's way. And when I started to care enough about my life at 25 years old, like, whoa, at 30, like, I'm not even going to be around. And that bothered me. And so I cared enough about me to make changes for me. And I think you said that word caring. Well, you got to care enough about you to make changes for you.
Yeah, and when you think about it, in the whole scheme of things, a lot of times we push ourselves to the side, or we push ourselves on the back burner. And if you don't take care of yourself, a lot of times you notice that you become hazardous to other people. And like what you were saying, your past, you in that past, that granted you weren't intentionally trying to hurt nobody, you were just trying to come up. However, what were you actually doing? You weren't affecting people the way that you are affecting people now.
Right.
This is what we're doing now. This is promoting Black love. This is promoting unity. This is how we get ahead. But if we hate ourselves or we don't love ourselves, how are we supposed to love each other and work together and move? We can't do that. So they want us divided. You know what I mean? And I hate to put it that way, but it is what it is. They want us to be divided. Because if we divide, we're not going nowhere.
Correct.
So we got responsibility and look at ourselves in the mirror and say, how can I be better for me? Not for nobody else, but for me.
And then from there, you could build your family, then your community, and everything else. Once you yourself got yourself on track, and so
right, and it's not just family. I can't speak on nobody else's life, but family for me is not just blood. I got people around me that have run for me harder than people that have the same bloodline for me. So the people that I'm around, you gotta be around them folks. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
you gotta rise together.
Absolutely. Yeah, nah, family just ain't your, yeah, those who grew up in your household. Like, we are all extended family, especially those who have really, you know, like you said, who went to bat for you or who got your back. Those are your family. And I guess, like, when you said, like, they want us divided, that's a true fact. And when you say us, what I think about is like what everyone has to understand is like this system, right? And for those on YouTube see me doing a quote sign with my hands. This system that we talk about, right? And I used to think when people said system, it was a conspiracy theory, but it's really not. This system intentionally didn't repair us, right? Because and that's where you say they don't want us united, because it's like, what do? Think about this. If you're an American, right, back in the 1860s, 1870s, and now you've made slavery illegal except someone commits a crime, right? So slavery was abolished except you commit a crime. So now you have 4 million Africans freed from slavery, who you've been beating down, torturing, and making to work for you and demoralizing. So if this system were to repair those same Africans, it's why they, you know, made these laws in order to incarcerate us, because now you got 4 million Africans with guns and freedom and education and wealth and unity. And now you were the people that treated them this poorly. Those people now become a threat to you. A unified African people in America become a threat to those who have been doing that people wrong. And so that's where I want to just, I guess, kind of elaborate on your point of like this quote unquote they don't want us divided. It's not talking about a race of people. We're talking about people who don't have African Americans, new Africans, Black people have our best interests at heart, because us united, us awake, us aware, us out of poverty is now a threat to a system that has just capitalized on our labor, capitalized on our dollar, who just wants us to be consumers. That's all. We're good for consumers right now. That's it. Be consumers, be laborers, and be entertainers. No one, you know, really has put us in, or has wanted us in the equation as equitable partners in this thing called liberty. So I just want to make that point. But thank you, Queen, for your comments, and we appreciate your husband for giving you the green light. And it's *6 if you guys have any more comments or questions. Hello?
Oh, okay. This is Steve, man, out of California, man. Are we live?
We live, Steve. We're live on phone conference and YouTube.
Yeah, man. I was listening to the podcast and what you got to say about the black brother shit, right? Which is I'm all for, man, because I'm in California where we don't got love for nothing, you know, but a rag and a gun, you know.
Right. No, I already know. And it's funny that, you know, and I got friends that bang, that gang bang and have affiliations or whatever the case is. And what I always say to everyone is that there's something greater than all of us. There's something greater than our gangs and our religions, our sexual orientations, all these things that we got divided us, something greater than all of that. And as we identify culture and realize that red, black, and green flag, that's the color that we all should be banging for. And that nation of Black people united for us to have love with one another, you know, that's what we striving for. That's our goal. You still on, Kim?
I think we lost him.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna move. We're gonna go to 714. Good evening.
Good evening, Queen.
Hello, everybody, and greetings to all the kings and queens on the line. This is Marcella. I'm calling from Long Beach, California. And first, I just want to thank you, Jay, for putting this together, sacrificing. I do see that you're very busy, and just thank you for responding to the call of your life. I think how I was drawn to you. I actually was referred to you by my cousin who was serving life in prison. So I think you should know that even behind bars, they know about you. He introduced his daughter to your wealth program, and she's trying to invest in real estate now. So I talked to shit about that.
Oh, wow. That's super encouraging. Thank you.
So in my conversation with him, he was like, just like they reach out to him. So what I was drawn to, and I don't want to get off the subject, let me stay on subject real quick. And you can't, because we tend to go on about the Black love. I saw mine gradually as I look back over my life. My mother and father told me that as a child, when I saw the African commercials to feed the hungry, I would cry and like, get all my money out and ask them, can I send some money? From there, within church, I was told we were coloring, and I got mad and asked the Sunday school teacher, why are I always coloring white people?
Right.
Also grew up in Kansas where there was no Black history classes. So I had no sense of who we really are as a people. My mother and father did invest in encyclopedias, but even the knowledge I did see, or the magazines I did see, made me hate Africa because it was so impoverished. Why don't they have any clothes? My heart was drawn to them. And then I transgressed on into a junior high where after seeing Roots, I beat up 3 people the next day. Move on to Trayvon where I was sick for 3 days. So I beat my love where I am so in love and even ready to die for to see us where I really believe that we can be with a gradual effect. And I do agree with you that it was by design, through slavery, through civil rights, and Jim Crow. They did a great job of making us hate people by separating the father from his children and saying, you don't know the story.
Yep.
But I think it's a gradual thing where it's gone for me, where it really affects me physically. I was physically sick after the Trayvon Martin decision for 3 days. And starting to have poor my conscience because I said, this cannot be kept. This is really like in our face, like what we are really dealing with. This is our 21st century civil rights movement. So, stay on subject. Black love is something I think that you have to experience. I think like you said, what are the simple things we can do to recreate that? That's one of the things that you have acknowledged by just calling us queen. I have a testimony about that. Over about 10 years ago, I was in Home Depot parking lot, walking up to my favorite store. For whatever reason, I had my head down, and a Black man was walking by me, and he said, hold your head up. You are a queen. Don't ever hold your head down. That was over 10 years ago. I don't remember what his face was like, but that one man spoke life into me that even to this day, if I even subconsciously have my head down, I hear his voice. So we might think it's simple, but one girl on this phone is telling me one Black man spoke into my life and, called me a queen is one of the reasons I keep my head up. The other simple thing is I think as Black people, we stop speaking to each other. We actually walk by each other and don't look.
Right.
So those are just simple. I want to hit the Black Power real quick, and it was interesting you said that because I hope anything, I want to also tell you real quick, a Black Club came to me through my teachers on Facebook because I didn't have Black history growing up. I had to learn Hidden Colors. If you guys haven't got that DVD, please get it. All 3 volumes and just books. So we are a great people, and I fell in love through learning about it and studying. I also fell in love through scripture. One scripture, I don't like the King James Version because everything has been tainted from the beginning, so I study in Hebrew and Greek. And I ran across Isaiah 18:2, and it said, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the Bible open enough, but it said, go beyond the rivers of Ethiopia to a people terrible from their beginning. And when I saw the word terrible, I was like, why would somebody call us terrible? Well, terrible in the Hebrew means to be feared and to be revered. So, world is supposed to fear us. And that's what you always hear about the Trayvon Martin off the police shooting. You're supposed to fear us. We're designed for you to fear. That's why when we walk down the street, you get off the sidewalk. When we come by your car, you lock the door. Now, the fear is tainted because that's how it was designed. But the fear can be great when we tap into that fear of why God made us to be feared and revered. Now, real quick, and please stop me because I don't want to manipulate this conference call.
I'm listening. Go ahead, Queen.
But I want to speak real quick on the Black Power. And today I was Chancellor Williams of the Power Destruction of Black Civilization. Buy it today, buy it tonight if you don't have it. And it's crazy that you spoke power, this is your subject. And on my break today, I was reading, and I'm going to quote him. He says, all talk about black power is empty. Until we begin to make black power a reality, and the only way it can be done, and that is by building, step by step, a race organization so great that it will not only be the voice of a united people, but will carry on efficiently an economic development program. There's been all plus. That is what you're doing. Because the difference between you and all the Paris Folly conferences I went to the state of Black America, all the Al Sharptons I've done through names, all the Russell Simmons conferences, I mean, my God, it never goes beyond a discussion. And that's why my young people were, they love Mr.Real, and they travel 36 ounces just Israel, and they just feel like just one conversation. But what I was brought to you, you actually have a plan. I downloaded the Wealth DNA. You're giving stuff free, and it's a plan. So what I was thinking is that it needs to be funded. Now, I had my own idea about calling that we need to unify and have something real powerful like this has never been done before. And I was calling my idea the Black Millionaires Club. And I was playing off the word black because I wanted to be all black people. And I wanted us to step our thinking up to call ourselves millionaires. And if we come together, this is what we can do. It's very simple, and I'm not going to put it all out there. But it's just 1 million black people. I don't know how I can keep it only black with electronic system. But giving $5 a month. That is $5 million a month, and that is $60 million a year. Because whatever we do, we need a lot of money to do it. And we can start off by having like a committee that can set things in where we can start organizing around this money, have things in place to invest. I think my main cry is we need a justice system that works for us. Whether with this money we contact the Black Lawyers Association. Also, we got all these young lawyers from HBCUs graduating. We need to hire them. We need to look into these laws that we need to be, we need some justice for them. There's only 4.8% African American lawyers in the United States. How are we ever going to justice with that representation? The percentage is even less in prosecutors and judges. So, I'm sorry, am I going too low?
No, but you know what, Queen, I want to say this. I do respect your passion, and everything you said is really accurate, and it's really what we're on. Like, our whole thing is solutions, and I do believe in the fundraising concepts on different levels. I just know what we've been talking about YMC is like even bigger than YMC or Black Millionaires Club or any other organization, is that we as a people have to find a common uniter identifier. And I always go back, and I'm going to stand on it. It goes back to whether it be a vote or plebiscite or whatever you want to call it, is identifying a name for ourselves, naming ourselves, identifying our flag, our core values, our pledge to our flag, like the basic core components that any nation has, even any state has, of identifying themselves. And then from that, those people who believe in those values identify and adopt or pledge to that flag or identify as that nationhood of people. Those people then go on to raise money and build our own judicial system, education system, and everything else. But until we take action, and that's my thing. I think the biggest burden I have is not these calls. It's not the corner classes. It's not any of that stuff. That stuff is not the biggest. The biggest burden is, and I agree with you. I've watched many leaders, and the biggest burden is sitting our butts down and creating the culture for ourselves and mass marketing and mass producing it and us adopting it. But I do appreciate all your enthusiasm. I want you to tell the king you said who's doing Life Behind Bars that I appreciate him. I salute him for speaking life into his daughter and still encouraging her from behind the walls. And I want to look forward to you on more of these calls. If there's anything you want to add a value to YMC, please email info@youngmindscan.org. And that's for all of you on the call. Please email info@youngmindscan.org. but I do want to get a couple of the calls in before we get off, and I appreciate all your feedback and insight, Queen.
Okay, thank you. Well, I did 2 YoungMinds.org, and the reason I wanted to get it to you because I've been blessed to have an opportunity to be at the audience of 2 huge hip hop stars right now that I wanted to present the idea to, and just needed some coaching to. And I don't want to reinvent the wheel. If it's something that you can take over my ideas and to have an audience with these 2, then we can build off of that. So
Okay.
I'll get up the phone for the opportunity.
Okay. Yep. Youngmindscan.org. info@youngmindscan.org. All right. Thank you. And let's go into our couple of the callers before we got here for the evening. Our national YMC wake up.
All I gotta say is, where am I sending her target officers? That queen was on fire.
Right. She's on fire. She's on point. Like that's love. That's when love speaks.
I love it. She's called a couple of times. All right, 973. Oh, hello.
Yeah, what's going on, King?
Hey, Queen. Good talk to you. Question, King. As far as the black love and black people, the movement that you got going on down in Baltimore, how is the presence of celebrities that have groups down in Baltimore? How have they been towards you with helping the movement, or just getting message out? Not so much about money, but just getting the message out about YMC and what you're trying to do in Baltimore to help broaden the message, so you can reach many more people in Baltimore.
Well, you know what? That's a great point. We haven't had much celebrity engagement. I think that is definitely going to come with us doing the work and being innovative in the work that we do and reaching the people. But I think it's something that our team definitely should look into as we start to really, galvanize more people in the community and really execute more of these workshops in our African American repair curriculum. So I think we want to leverage celebrities, as we get it done. But yeah, we haven't had any assertive efforts to reach out to anybody or anybody reach out to us thus far. I appreciate it. Thank you, King. Yeah, that was a great comment.
Okay, moving right along, we're going to go to 443. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right, okay, I got through. This is Tamara calling back from Baltimore. So, just coming back to the point of Black love and Black power, I think it's so on fire with listening to everybody on these calls. It's I got cut off because I'm standing outside. It's 15 degrees, snowing and all that stuff, but I got to stay on the call because of what we're doing. And so I'm not getting cut off because I'm not engaged. I'm getting cut off because I got called back in, whether it's 15 degrees or not.
Right.
And to get fed with the beauty of our people. And I think for me, the Black love really rests in understanding what the power that love has. People really understand what love means and the experience you get when you share it with your people. That it provides this level of empowerment, not just for self, but then for every single environment that you enter into. So, and I think I so appreciate the fact that we need to be uplifted as a people, but it almost reminds me of the movement of Martin Luther King, furthering his cause, because once we're uplifted, once we love ourselves, once we unite, then every other oppressed culture, every other, whether it's the Native Americans, whether it's other whatever culture that's considered to be oppressed, they have an outlet too. So it's our love and uplift us, it'll affect literally the world. So
true.
It's exciting stuff, and I appreciate everybody just taking time off and whether they call it from Cali, whether they call it from I think Mexico at one point. So what we're doing is Jay's on this weekend, which is, you know, the corner class. So if you're close, come out. Just show up. You know, start to show numbers, and that in itself is important. So wherever it is, show up and show out. You know, and that's how I think we can continue to move forward. But it really all starts with that love piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you hit it. Now, thank you, Queen. Now you hit it when you talked about like people don't really understand the power of love. Like it gets you excited. It gets you with this like magnetic feeling, right? Like we be hyped, and it's just that again, just for love of our people. These are our people. I don't know what y'all be thinking. Like this is your people that's going through this, and that we are trying to intentionally repair and heal because no one has done it. And so, you know, it's a big job. That's why people just shy away from it. But it's like, what we gonna do? We gonna quit, or we gonna, you know, we put our back against the wall? We gonna fight and fight together. So, you know, I appreciate all that you do for us, and I want to echo what you said. For those of you who can make it, come down to Baltimore this Saturday, 1/16/16, 1 p.m. Corner classes, free real estate, home buyer, investor, credit, seminar, advice, whatever. Just me just bringing my wealth of knowledge to our people, right there in the corner of 850 Harlem Ave.
That can you feel better? Cause he's going to go.
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna be ready for Saturday. I'm getting my meds, and I'm staying warm. I'm all bundled up here, so I'll be ready for Saturday. Queen, get out the cold, get out the snow, and all of that. And we thank you for your sacrifice.
Okay, good. Good night.
Good night. Love is an action word. Take action.
All right, King. 619.
All right, 619.
Oh yes, I was calling in. We got cut off when I was in traffic, but I wanted to say that, you know, we went to the Million Man March and all that stuff, and we talked about, you know, Black United and all this stuff, but nobody put a petition out on how we should treat each other. And I was thinking, what we have something that we all sign as a youth is like, you know, like they have petitions for laws and stuff that we a guideline that we abide by, each and every one of us. So when we do see a brother or sister somewhere, we automatically, you know, take notice and say hi, or if we see them getting harassed by the police, we watch and make sure everything is all right. Like, take care of each other, man. What do you think about that?
No, I love that, King, and that boils down to what we want to do in regards to creating our core values. Like, these are the values we live by. And I think the Queen said it, and you just hit it too. It's like, yo, just speaking to each other, I make it a point. Like, look at y'all walk by me, I'm gonna break my neck up under your head. You looking the other way to make you look me in the eyes to say hi. Like, we don't even do the head nod no more. Like, you ain't even gotta say hi. Just nod your head at me. Just let me know you see me. And you know, we barely do that. But yeah, I think those little core values, though, and again, we have to, and I say it on these calls, but don't get it messed up. Like, we behind the scenes working, we have to create our own culture. We don't have a common culture. We have to literally see. It's not just like in theory for these books and these conferences, as the Queen says. I watch a lot of these leaders. They do great work, and they have a lot of the solutions they throw out there to the constituents, but they don't actually go do the things they say need to be done. So where I just want to be different in that, and what God put on my heart, is to actually go create this, like what Marcus Garvey did. That's what I love about Marcus Garvey, one of the greatest black leaders we've had. He actually created this the ish that we say we needed to do. Oh, we need businesses. All right, I'm gonna create a boat line. Oh, we need a flag. All right, I'm gonna create a flag. Oh, we need a pleasure flag. I'm gonna create that. Oh, we need, like, the rest of these leaders, I don't know what they're doing, but like, yo, we have to create the things for our people that we need. I've been thinking, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna take like maybe I'll hear your thoughts again, King, and then we'll take maybe another call or two and we'll get out of here for the night. But you know, we talked about being New African. That was something that I got from the Republic of New Africa, which is an organization that was also trying to define us. There's other Pan-African, there's other Nation of Islam, there's other subgroups in a sense who are all trying to figure out this one thing. I believe all leaders got to come to the table and do a vote. I believe it's like a 51-person vote or 101 people, the most influential people, or whatever it is. We need to vote on who we are and what our values are. We need to, just how the America sat with 77 people and formed a Declaration of Independence, we got to form ours, right? So we got to actually do these things, right? But one thing I've been thinking about, and I'm just throwing it out there because we in this Black Love Call, Black Power Call, is that it's been on my mind the last couple of days, is like United Africans of America. It's like, what is the one thing that we all have in common? Is that we all are, or United African Descendants of America. Is that we're all African descendants. The one that we got in common, out of all religions and everything else, is that we need to be a United Africans in America, or United African Descendants of America. And whatever it is we decide, but we need to be a group of people. I don't care if it's 3 million of us out of 42 million of us, or 1 million of us, or 300,000 of us, but it has to be a group that decides outside of their religion and other orientations, that decide that we as a Black people want to live better, we want to love each other, we want to pledge to our own flag, we want to adopt and recognize our own flag, as well as an American flag or whatever, but we need our own. We need to stand on our own 2 feet. We need to be self-determined, and that's very important.
Yeah, that's true. That I say that wholeheartedly. You know, I'm out here in California wholesaling property and stuff, so I see a lot of like people that like my youngsters, my family members and stuff, that I try to, you know, help them, guide them in certain directions in life. But they got more influence on the streets than they do on positive on themselves. So it's kind of like fighting a 22 battle all the time with somebody, because what somebody else said about.
Right. All the influences from radio to media to the streets, all the influences are feeding the bad wolf, I call it. You got to either feed the good wolf or the bad wolf. And all the influences feed the bad wolf. I think we might have lost King. That's where we're struggling. So let's get to one more YMC caller for the evening, and then we'll wrap up. I gotta get some dinner.
571.
Yo, Jay, what's up? It's Greg, man.
Oh, what's going on, King?
Not too much, man. The last one called, man, I should be honored.
You the man.
But yo, I just wanted to speak on for the young guys, these young kings out here that still believe in love, man. I think that was probably one of the best decisions I ever made when I proposed to my wife. You know what I mean? I'm a high head. I can get everything on my own. I've been working since I was 12. I know how to get to the money. Couldn't nobody tell me shit as a young adult coming up. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to spread love to people. I was being selfish. I was being arrogant.
Right.
By the time I met my wife in college, all of that changed. I mean, the first week, Jay, I met my wife in college. I was going to get to school. I was going to get all the females and all this. Man, I got so mad at myself, man, because I was embarrassed, too. Because I'm not even known for being that sweetheart type of dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But ever since that changed, everything turned for the better. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to tell all the kids out there, like, there's still love out there. There's still strong love out there, too. Like, I ain't going to lie to you. That's a trap queen. I want a real true queen. Like, ain't nothing like, I got a modern day Black, you know what I'm saying, Black Panther in my house, and I'm loving every day of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My life is lovely. You know what I'm saying?
As you should.
But I just want to tell all the young kids listening, man, like, it's still out there. They still, these queens are still out there. And you want that one that's going to inspire you to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't have signed up for the JMA 2 years ago, to be honest with you. For real, I would have kept doing what I've been doing.
Right.
But ever since then, and now where I'm at now, working with Jay Rep, YMC all day.
Right, absolutely. And that's a great note to end the call on. And you're right. We talk about Black love. This whole call, shoot, Black love starting the home. It start with finding that mate. And right. I could speak firsthand as a young Black male, as a king. You know, all our influences. It does make it harder for us, or somehow we make it up in our head or whatever, to settle down and to find a wife and to find, you know what I mean, and to find that true love. And I'm gonna tell you, as your mentor and as your big bro, your big homie, all that good stuff, you inspire me in that regard, because I see you in the group chats talking about your 2 daughters and talking about your wife, and you speak very highly of them every single trip. You know, you're not like the kind of king that, okay, I got a wife, but we over here talking about other females and talking about this. You know what I mean? Like, you really true to your family and true to your wife. And I'm inspired by that, and I applaud you for that. Like, that's a true man. That's a true king. And, that's truly what Black love is. And we can raise our kids that way, and our kids get to see that. Like, right now, half of the queens, half of the black females in America are the heads of their household. There's no man there. Half. And out of half of them, they raise their kids in poverty. So half of the black females in America are the head of their household, and half of that half raise their children in poverty. And so it's very important for our kings, our men, to be present and to be productive. So I want to thank you just for, leading by example in that regard. And I want to thank everyone who's on this YouTube live stream and on our conference call. We want these to be packed out. They're going to grow and grow and grow because we just talking the truth. And I look forward to really getting to work. Y'all know me. I'm just a workhorse. Like, I want to get to work. Like, the calls are to galvanize us, to motivate us, to build our national constituency. But I look forward to these corner classes this Saturday in Baltimore. I look forward to Building Black Wealth Seminar in Norristown, Pennsylvania on Tuesday, 119. That flyer's out. I look forward to being in Toronto, All-Star Weekend doing a wealth workshop. We'll be in Chicago in a couple of weeks doing a workshop. And I just want to do more work, man. I know what I'm here for, on my purpose, and I love my people to death. I love y'all. Like I tell you on every YMC, JMA call, I love y'all. I mean it. I can tell you to your face, right in the eyes. King, queen, will make a difference. My heart is all in it. But I know for solutions, we do have to sit down. We want to do a retreat. I think we need a YMC retreat where everybody come out and we spend a weekend locked in, and we got to create our own culture and we don't walk out of there till we've created what we needed for our people. That's what I think the solution is. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. We'll be back next week. We'll have our next subject. I don't even know what it is right now, but we'll have our next topic for next Tuesday, YMC Wake Up Call. Appreciate y'all. We will have this call. I don't know if it was recorded or not. Maybe it wasn't. We'll see. But the YouTube was. So okay. Queen recorded it, and it's on YouTube. So you guys can watch a live play of this call on YouTube as well as a recording we'll have out. And now I'm about to take care of myself to make sure I'm nice and healthy for this weekend. Queen Jazz, thank you, and all of the YMC board members who supported and on this call. Thank you all, and all the members nationally or just people who are just peeking in to see what we're doing. Thank you for at least having that much interest. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.